save that. It's just a little experiment. Hello, folks. Hi, V. Hi, Sue. Hi, Kathy. Okay, I think I've got everything.
It looks really organised on the camera.
I know, because you can't see the entire table is filled. Hi, Jan. How are we all doing? Let me just brew my tea. Hi, Emma. Yes, panda time. It's panda play time. Hang on. What's Jane's question? Half a bag of what, Jane?
If it's a flower, it'll be fine.
You're going to say if it's a flower, it'll be absolutely fine, yeah. Hi, Keto Dan. Right, anyway. Little pasta maker. Like a panda. Yes, today's going to be panda chat, full on panda pasta. I didn't realise we had panda flour. Oh, I suppose the mix has been on for a while, hasn't it?
Meant bread mix.
Is it bread? To be fair, Jane, it doesn't really matter which one it is. We only ever put a 6-month date on it, but you know, we know flowers will last an awful lot longer. Hi, Susan. Right, okay, let's get started. Panda pasta. I've done this a few times. I did it in the members class on Tuesday. I've done it a few times at home. I'm already playing with variations. However, I'm going to stick to the straightforward, bog standard. Let's make some tagliatelle and let's make some lasagna sheets. Okay, so it's as simple as that. I've got one that I made earlier, as in a few days earlier here, which I'm going to do something else with in a minute. That might give it away. However, the panda pasta recipe, it's really straightforward. It's eggs, it's cream cheese, and it's panda flour. The variations that I'm going to try, and I was just trying to do one very quickly, but got carried away, is can you swap the cream cheese for other dairy alternatives? Probably the answer is yes. But right now I can't say that for sure. So I've got an experiment there waiting to have flour put in it, but we'll see. We'll go with the bog standard recipe. And I'm going to do it in a bowl, but you can use a food processor because I want to show you how easy it is in the bowl with a whisk. You don't need any other gadgets. The only thing you'll need to make your pasta sheet is a silicone sheet like this. Now I've got one. We can drop the link in. It's straightforward. Amazon. I think I paid 11 quid for 2. These are 35 centimeters by about 25 centimeters. And you'll find out what panda flour is in a second. Those trays are ideal. If you've got something similar, if you've got a really, 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 really good non-stick tray, then try it. I can't guarantee, but the silicone ones work perfectly. because you want it quite sort of wide, really quite big base, so you don't end up with very thick pasta. Okay, so 3 ingredients, and this is per portion. I know that some people will scale this down. So Sue's made this, and she brought it down a little bit to make a slightly smaller portion. But for a standard size portion, which will weigh about 220, 230 grams, and with about 20 grams of protein, it's 3 eggs. Okay, oh, I'm getting brave. I'm using my extra sharp knife to crack an eggshell.
Please at least use the non-blade side.
Well, where's the fun in that? Right, so Kathy's asked, can you go onto our Amazon account and have a look? You're on it.
I'm ahead of it. Look.
You're ahead of it. Okay. All right. Oh, there it is. There's the mats that we used. That is not an affiliate link, by the way. We don't use affiliate codes. That's just the straightforward link to the Amazon site. You may find the sheets cheaper elsewhere, but I can't guarantee they'll work. All right. To that is cream cheese. Full fat cream cheese. This is just the Sainsbury's stuff. Is there any left in the fridge before I open this one? Because I suddenly realised I hadn't bought any. No, that's fine. I hadn't bought any. I was like, I'm about to use 120 grams of cream cheese. That's clever. The foil is tearing around the edges.
Use a knife.
Yeah, use a knife. Right, 60 grams of cream cheese. What's he sloping off to?
It's meant to go the wee.
Oh, somebody's bought the wee?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You can fit the wee board in the backpack.
Right, okay. Okay, 60 grams of cream cheese. Give that a bit of a mix first. So, just eggs and cream cheese mix so far. You can use a bullet if you want to use a bullet, any food processor. Obviously, you need quite a small one because it doesn't make a huge amount of mix. Hang on a minute. I'll just clean 2 spoons and now they're both gone.
Well, one's in the cream cheese.
Yeah. We've just been having a discussion about cutlery going missing. We're missing half of our cutlery at the moment. When the boy moves out in August, I know where I'm going to be finding it. Yeah? Right. Panda flour. It comes in a bag like that. Okay? So it's bagged in 300 gram bags. Everything inside the bag is, it's stocking up, is biodegradable. So the inner bag, is biodegradable, and quite obviously you're going to biodegrade that flour. 20 grams of Panda, which doesn't sound a lot, but because it's so light, it's very fibrous, it's super absorbent. So that was about, I've just found a spoon. Guess where I've just found a spoon? Inside the flour.
So that bag is recyclable, not biodegradable. It's the
Yes,
big ones that
yes.
are biodegradable, not recyclable.
Right, 20 grams. It doesn't look a lot, but when you give it a bit of a mix, the flour brings all of that liquid together. Right, Kat, there is something that I'm going to try, but not today, not with this, all right? This makes quite a silky batter. So it's still quite runny. Believe me, if you add even just a couple of grams more Panda flour to this, it will go thick. It will go paste thick. And if you had, let's say if you had 30 grams, it'll be solid. So that's all we need. I did mean to season that before we go any further. Oh, I also said I'd make 2. So I'll do them 2 separately because it won't be. It doesn't take long to put these together. Right. What? And this gets added to the what gets added to the website to buy?
Not the pasta V.
Oh, not the pasta. We're not selling the pasta. No. This is to be made at home. It's too much fresh ingredients. Straight into the tray. Again, silicone tray. You know, you shouldn't need to grease it. I'm hoping I've got that balanced well. Ice.
No.
Right. Okay. That's better. No. Okay. You're getting good at spotting then. And you want it runny enough so you can do that. And you can just fill the sheet with a nice even layer. Don't worry that it's going to look quite thin. Okay. So I'm just covering all 4 corners. I've got the oven on already. It's on about 170. Let's have a quick look. Well, actually, I had it a lot higher than that. I've turned it down to 170. Give it a shake just to get it nice and even. Now, this is where you're going to find out whether the builder that put your oven in has done it straight, okay? Because when you put it in, it looks nice and level. And if it comes out and it's thick on one end and thin on the other, then you might need to get a spirit level out, yeah? Right. Okay. Actually, it would help if I actually kept that straight as well.
Put it on the right one.
Maybe that's what happened to the other one. Maybe I put it on the tilt. Oh, I said something else then. Right. I'm gonna do it. It takes. Someone set a timer. I'm gonna speak to her. 5 minutes. Right. Okay. I sort of got it. Where's my rubbish bowl? Right, I'm going to do 2 because I'm going to do 2 different dishes. Okay, I'm going to do some lasagna sheets and I'm going to do some tagliatelle.
15 minutes, did you say? Or
5.
5.
Blimey, 15. 5 minutes, that'll be ready. 5 minutes.
I'll do 4.5 now.
Cream cheese. So obviously, if you're doing more than one portion, you can do it at the same time. I meant to do that and then forgot because I've done single portions so many times just as practice runs that I now do it automatically. Okay, little slurp of tea.
Yeah, V, that's why these mats look like they're pretty decent because they've got the edge.
They're 1 centimetre edge. Obviously, you can be deeper. It's not a problem. It's up to you. How deep and how thick you make the pasta. You can always cut it into thin strips. If it's thicker, then cut it into thinner strips. Like a Swiss roll tin. Yes. And funny enough, you can also make Swiss rolls with the panda flour. The spammers are out today.
They've got relevant comments.
Right.
But they're not.
They're not real people. Right, 20 grams again.
Sue says there's 13 mats left in stock.
Honestly, I am not earning 3 pence per mat. Right. Give it a mix. The panda flour goes in really easy. You don't have to work hard to get it to combine with You can see that tray? Yeah, just about. Yeah. So the other one.
As Dan says, there are other mats available.
There are other mats available. I have done, and the one I've got on the chopping board here, that was cooked in the Ninja, in a bit of greaseproof or parchment paper. So it's a little bit thicker, but I want to show you what you can do with it. So I know Emma's made a Swiss roll style thing. What tray did you use, Emma? It'd have been something to fit in a Ninja, wouldn't it? Small baking tray, just lined baking tray.
Sue says she's used a flat tray and then it's
Yeah.
fine as well.
Right, again, just make sure it's nice and even. Right, and that's gone in at 18. So that other one's got like 1 minute left on it. So time enough for me to just quickly clean the board. What?
Sue just ninja all the way. That was the slow last year.
No, not. Okay. All right, so this one I made a few days ago. I've had it in a bag in the fridge for a few days. It's still soft, it's still squishy, it hasn't gone hard or anything like that. However, I have been asked, can we sort of like make it into pasta shapes? Not the shapes that you probably are used to. So you won't be able to make pasta pen. You won't be able to make the fusilli. You won't be able to make any of those because they're quite specialized molds. But what you can make is pasta stars just by using it as a pastry cutter. So I've made the sheet and I'm just going to cut it into little stars. Oh, there's the bottom one coming out. Right, so straight out of the oven. It hasn't really changed colour. Just having a look. Right, that's not cooked in that corner there. So it needs another minute. Maybe I turned my oven down a bit too much. I've got the right setting. Give it another minute. So yeah, I'm going to make some little stars. Whatever shapes you want. I mean, obviously, the first person to get a panda cutter gets 10 brownie points. I haven't looked. Need like a panda cookie cutter.
Can you make ravioli with this?
Not tried it yet. Not tried it yet. That is something that I've got a ravioli tray. Yeah, that's not an experiment I've done yet, Kat. I've just stuck with the straightforward pasta.
I do have one, so but it's a bit too big for this kind of thing.
Yeah, this is perfect little size. They're, you know, an inch across, something like that. And maybe with a bit more time, I wouldn't be wasting any. In fact, I still wouldn't waste it. I'd still chop this up. Right, this is just a pan of water. Because obviously what you normally do to pasta is boil it. And what you can do with this is once it's cooked and cooled, it's still a bit firm. But not, it's cooked, it's spongy. It's a little bit spongy, yeah? If you flash boil it, it suddenly feels a lot more like pasta. I need my own kitchen. Obviously, it is cooked already. You don't need to worry about, getting it to a...
That tray's probably been in for a minute.
Yeah, okay. Right. I don't think I've had the oven on the right setting. Never trust the oven. It's just that corner. So it just needs... I couldn't find my slotted spoon because, again, it's just not in the drawer. Now, if somebody wants to find an alphabet cutter, you can do your own alphabeti spaghetti. But once you've quick boiled it, it's now sort of it's a little bit squidgier, and it's still got that tiny bit of a bite. It's like when you cook real pasta and you get to the al dente stage, it's just over the al dente stage. But that feels more like pasta in the mouth as well. I've got a feeling I've only had the bottom oven on. But because it was on way higher than I normally have it. It's only sitting at 150. Normally heats up an awful lot quicker than that. Right, so pasta that's been made into a sheet and then used as a cutter, make it whatever shape you want. Let me get rid of this. It's nearly ready. Yes, al dente. Obviously, it can be eaten cold. It's rather tasty. Great thing about this, and I meant to bring some home with me, is we use for the wraps, we use beetroot powder and spinach powder to obviously make beetroot and spinach wraps. You can add seasonings to your pasta to make it into a flavoured pasta. So if you want a chili pasta, then just add some chili powder into your batter mix. When I did it on Tuesday, the first one was ready before I even mixed the second one. Right, finally. That was the first one. That's the bottom tray. So that needs another minute. However, off these silicone trays, it comes out, should, how many times I've done this week, it should just fall out. Ah, see, it's thick there. So my cooker isn't that level. But that was me last time. It's thick on one side and thin on the other. So it's just sticking a little bit here. Right, there it goes. Right, I'm just going to let that cool down for a few minutes before we slice it up. I'll stick it over that. It'll cool down there. I've got... well, it came out sort of 70%. I'll make sure this other one, it's a little bit soft still. I even turned the oven on before we started. Won't bother next time. I've got, for two different dishes, So there's a chicken and pasta, a bit like a carbonara style. So chicken pasta, it's got leeks and cream cheese mixed to go there. And I've got some beef mince fried, bit of tomato sauce. I'm going to, no, it's a brand new oven feed. I'm going to, that's what I've got the small pan for, just do a quick cheesy sauce, a ricotta. So while I wait for that second one to finish, I'll just do this.
Jan's asking, when you touch this chicken, it's done, what are you testing for?
You can see it on top. You can sort of see if it's cooked or not. It's still a bit soft, so it's not firmed up at all. That's all I'm checking, is to make sure that it's firm. That's it. It's very thin. You know, it only take a few seconds or a few minutes to cook. I don't want to overcook it. I don't want to dry it out. So right, I'll use this to start with. What are the ratios? The ratios, unfortunately, we're not going to be sharing because the ratios are specific to our product.
Unless you're asking about the panda recipe, the pasta recipe.
Panda recipe. Which one are you on about, Lynn? So the flour is our creation based on the products that we can get. We import them. There are ingredients out there that you can get which are not going to be anywhere close to what we use. Cheese, that's what I was looking for. If it dries out, and I have done this where I've slightly overcooked it, it is a little bit more, it'll break up a little bit more. So when you come to slice it, it'll actually break up a little bit. So you still want it to be sort of soft, like this. You know, there you go. See how it's sort of bendy? You want it soft. Right, okay. So here's the second one. And hopefully I can show you. So the corner here is a little bit more done. However, see, that one's coming out a little bit easier. There you go. I'll just give it a second to cool down. Oh, there we go. There you go. So, but I do want that to cool down before I start to do anything else with it. So I'm going to stick it on here with this one. It should be fairly durable. So the first one, where it's gone thin, is actually a little bit fragile. But that's okay, because I'm going to turn that into lasagna.
Do you want to go through the ingredients of the pasta then?
The ingredients of pasta. So per portion, so per sheet that have gone there, 3 medium eggs. We're using medium farmer's eggs at the moment. So they were all freshly laid last Saturday. 60 grams of cream cheese. Are you writing up as we go along?
I'll put it in the comments for now. Right. I'll make a recipe. 60
grams of cream cheese. Obviously, we just use the normal full-fat soft cream cheese from Sainsbury's, but you know, any good quality cream cheese. And then 20 grams of the panda flour, which means your bag of panda flour will give you 15 portions of the pasta. Yeah. Season it with whatever you want, whether that's just salt and pepper, whether you're going to turn that into, garlic and herb pasta. You can sort of make the pasta flavoured even before you've started. All I'm doing here is a really, really simple cheesy sauce. Ricotta, couple of tablespoons, and about 30 grams of cheese. And I'm just melting the mature cheese into the ricotta. I'm just going to use that as a topping for the lasagna. Okay. All right. 1 sheet, 1 portion. For me, you may sort of adapt it to what you want. But for me, one sheet is one portion. 20 grams of protein, 3.6 grams of carbs. I think it's 23 grams of protein, 3.6 grams of carbs, and 27 grams of fat. One portion. You don't need to then worry hugely about how much, a lot more protein to go with it, because your average size portion of mince might be 100, 150 grams. Well, there's another 25 to 30 grams of protein. So, I mean, that's what I've got in here in the pan for the lasagna. For this one, I'm going to cut it into strips, and this is going to go as with the chicken and bacon. So, obviously, tagliatelle is easier to do because it's thinner strips, sort of like that. What's the question about garlic puree?
I'm sorry, I'm just highlighting Ross's comment.
Okay.
One sheet is plenty.
Hello, Ross. How you doing, mate?
Would garlic puree be okay in it, or would you use garlic powder?
I would use garlic powder.
Takes out any issue of there being extra liquid.
Extra liquid. The extra liquid would cause me may cause issues. Now, I have used this in a pasta machine, and I've had mixed results. And it does depend as to how thick your pasta sheet is. If it's too thick, with the machine that I've got, it just won't go through because the grooves that sort of trap the pasta are just too narrow, so there's not enough space for it to sort of to grip. You could, if you wanted, just take a rolling pin to this and thin it down a little bit. However, for such a small amount of pasta, just hand cutting it like that. There's your one portion pasta. You could just throw this straight into a sauce. It doesn't need to be cooked, okay? But I'm going to show you the difference now between how it hangs now and how it will hang once it's been sort of flash boiled. I am going to find my slotted spoon before I start because that knackered me up a minute ago. But that's one portion there. It can just go straight into a sauce, or you could just quickly fry it in some butter. You could just, because it's gone obviously a little bit cool now. However, I'm going to quickly dunk it in there once I find the correct utensils. Okay. What happens if you fry it? Shall I save some and find out, Ross? I haven't tried it. I haven't tried frying it. One of the experiments I want to try is in its liquid form. Will it cook as it hits the water? Can we create little spirals? I'll save a little bit then. We'll see. We'll find out. Right, so this is starting to boil. It's too big a pan normally for pasta, but I'm only using this one so you can actually see that it's what it's cooking. I don't think it will go as firm as that breadsticks. I literally do just want to give it, like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, just for it to soften up. Not too much because it will eventually start to break up. See the difference how it hangs now? So it hangs more naturally like spaghetti, like pasta. did bring some parmesan in. So this is Louis' dinner. Did he have the lasagna a couple of days ago? Did he have that one?
Yeah. Before I found out that he actually does like that squash now.
Right, okay. Yeah, your Wing It Wednesday, which was swede.
Sweet salad without
swede.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But it was only for me. Or so I thought.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I'll just use squash then.
It's a healthy portion of chicken, bacon, and leek. Yeah, it's a healthy portion. Don't forget, this is Louis we're talking about here. Yeah. Again, this is Louis we're feeding. Yeah.
Because this won't be enough parmesan for him.
Well, I'm going to hide the rest. All right. Oh, and for picture's sake.
You say for picture's sake, there's not much pasta to take a photo of.
Well,
It's
the
not
pasta, the pasta is buried underneath the fake carbonara. There you go. I mean, the camera's doing all sorts of horrible things to that. Hang on. We're just getting the YouTube thing. You seriously need to get this. No, I'm fine with them not liking mushrooms, Ross, because then when I buy mushrooms, is that good?
Yeah.
I can't really see properly on there because it's just bright. But there you go. You can sort of see, and there you go. There's your normal pasta dish. Do you want to give Louis a quick shout? Right. Let's do the lasagna next. Lost my bowl. Oh yeah, I've got that as well. Panda Mountain. Right, so you can see. Do you know what? That definitely didn't cook properly because this corn is still not cooked. How crazy is that? So half of it's cooked absolutely fine, and the other half's not. Okay. I'm going to rescue those bits. What?
He's just eating as he walks up the stairs.
As he walks upstairs, yeah.
I don't know, dog walks.
Yeah, I'll come on with you. I don't need to go anywhere, so no, I'll do it with them. Right, okay, let's construct this. So I prepared earlier because there wasn't enough time during the live. You could shape it if you wanted, but seriously, no need. We'll use a bit of that in the middle.
If only there was a circular one, that's like a lasagna sheet.
And what? Sorry.
We've gone full circle. We used to talk about making the wrap square.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about making the pasta sheets.
Pasta sheet. Oh well, that can be done.
Hello, Emily.
Hi, Emily. Seen you for ages. Right, let's tuck those edges in. And we're going to cover that with the ricotta sauce. Yeah, so I can bake this and have it when I get back. It's a big one. A small two.
The dogs had bones.
I haven't put them in. Oh no, they had some chicken wings when I got back.
We haven't had a second portion.
We haven't had a meal, no. Right, I'm just going to bake that for 20 minutes, 170. Again, it's all cooked. Right, let me just clean this pan out because this is going to be the best one to fry and be able to see anything in it. Challenge yourself.
These asking no mozzarella. I'm sure you've got mozzarella.
Yes, I got mozzarella. What's the question?
I'm assuming going on top of the lasagna.
Beg your pardon?
On the lasagna.
No, that was ricotta. No mozzarella then.
Yeah, as in, have you put the mozzarella on top of the lasagna?
No, the ricotta with cheese.
Right. No,
The
on
che-
top of the ricotta sauce.
No, it's got grated cheese in with the ricotta.
Right.
However, the test I was doing was with mozzarella. Will the panda pasta work
That's
with
what
the mozzarella? So I blitzed it earlier. I was just getting to the mixing stage. Right. Okay. So, what else can you use panda flour for? There's loads of stuff. There's absolutely tons of stuff.
I'm just going to pop a link in.
There's a if you get one of the flours, you get one of those. So which is a is it the same? So basically, there's recipes in there to show you. But pancakes, wraps, cakes, pastry. We even made brownies this week with it. They're coming soon.
That link there takes you to all of the recipes we use with panda flour.
Ross, oil or butter? Your request. You get to choose. As usual, folks, we just wait for Ross to give us direction and then we'll just carry on.
Ross says butter.
Butter, I guess. We haven't got the butter for you, mate. Yeah, it's only a little bit. He takes us with us, mate. With him. Yeah, so I wasn't able to finish off that little test, but I will try it because I do want to see if the pasta sheets will hold up with alternative. There's no reason why it wouldn't work with oil and butter. Actually, it's not a bad shout. Why it wouldn't work. Are we going for crispy crisp? We're not just going for slightly golden. I do love our product development Fridays where we just totally change plan. I'm going to cut it into slightly smaller strips just so that they don't overlap on the pan. We should do all of our product development like this. I have made something. Who's this? Ross. Yeah, I have made something. Actually, it was the first experiment. One of my first experiments with pasta, different type of recipe, and what I ended up producing was very much like a chip. It tasted like mashed potatoes inside. I think I then forgot how I did it. Oh, it's gone golden. These are definitely fry. They look like fries. So if you make very thick pasta and then cut it into strips, you've got perfect fries. Yeah, not tried that yet either. V, I've not tried if it works as a nacho.
Is it coughing up?
They're not a little bit, not hugely, but there's a little bit of. They're definitely going golden. I think you can see that, can't you? Yeah. Pretty much.
Smell great.
I'm not sure what they smell like. Whether that's.
Butter.
Yeah, it's probably just butter.
You'll need salt, definitely.
What?
And fish and fries.
Oh yeah. You'll be on the naughty step like Ross is occasionally when he starts talking about his fish bites. Right. No, Emily, it's not lupin. It's bamboo. And actually, they have gone slightly crispy. Oh, hang on. Right. So they're definitely missing seasoning. They'd need to be thicker to be even classed as a obviously as a chip, because look at them, they are wafer thin. That is close to.
Wow, they are crispy.
Yeah. They're not crispy. Again, mouthfeel.
No.
They feel crispy. So you've got a nice sort of. It almost feels like it is a chip on the outside. I'd say that. If it was thicker, and you can't really see this, but it looks like mashed potato on the inside. So it looks the part. It doesn't have the same bite.
With how thin they are, you wouldn't be able to put them in like a dip or something.
No.
They're just snap.
However, they do work. Yeah, they do work. So yes, you can fry your panda pasta. Other way.
I suppose what it would work with is, you know, in restaurants you get like loaded fries.
Yeah. They break up quite easily.
Yeah, but you'd eat that with a fork anyway.
Yeah. True. Fish bites and panda fries. We'll stick it on the to-do list in a couple of weeks. Actually, what was it? Oh.
What?
The fish bites, they don't use flour, do they?
No.
It's just egg and fish.
Egg and fish.
But I haven't worked out yet whether we can make a batter that fries. See, you chuck some stuff in a pan. See what happens, yeah. Fish, yes. Emma, have you made fish cakes?
The fish bites recipe, you won't be able to use a batter on that because it's a batter itself.
Emma's made fish cakes using panda.
Really?
Yeah. Stop dropping emojis in and tell us yes. Sure. Fish cakes. Right, we're just waiting on. It's not browning yet. It's too soon. Ross's fish bites. Yeah. See, you are famous, Ross. You and your fish bites get everywhere. Right. Panda pasta or panda fries, as we've just seen to have made. It is funny how when we started to use the panda flour, we only actually thought, oh, Jane, we just ate them all. They were amazing. We what about the chips there, Jane? Sorry. They did go golden brown and they had a bit of a crispy texture, but they're not crunchy. They're not crunchy. So when we first developed Panda, I thought it was just for wraps. Didn't think of it and do anything else with it. And then we decided to chuck some fat at it and see if we could make some pastry. And it's been working for pies and pasties and sausage rolls. And that just got us to thinking, what else can we make using something that is essentially, well, it's 9 grams of carbs per 100 grams. But as you've seen, we use such a small amount in each recipe that a plate of pasta is now 3 grams of carbs. A wrap is about 2 grams of carbs. So one of the things that we make at the bakery is the roti, and we add baking powder to that, and it will puff up just a little bit. I am working on, but nowhere near ready, a Panda loaf using the flour and yeast. So you'll get some rise out of baking powder. Obviously, it works in cakes. Absolutely. All of our cakes now, the lemon cake, the chocolate cake, cherry and almond, they're all now converted to Panda flour. Can make anything with ground. This is what we said earlier in the week. We needed to get some more baby pandas.
The problem with your sarcasm is if someone doesn't know you.
Right, so there's a challenge for you lot out there that have actually got some of the Panda flour. Have a think about what you would normally make and that you would have normally used flour in, and can you recreate it? Because we don't get enough time to experiment with it. If you get an idea, then Emily, I might have to send you some. Then have a crack at it and let us know.
Business trip to the US.
This is the business trip to the US. Yes. But yeah, the rule of thumb really is. Well, there you go. So, Sean, just tried the Panda chocolate cake. It's so soft compared to the old recipe. The topping is gorgeous too. Highly recommend. Right, brilliant. Right, so here's the difference. The old chocolate cake recipe used ground almonds as its bulk, as most keto cakes do. They use ground almonds. When you replace ground almonds for Panda, you're only using about 25-30%. So a chocolate cake would have previously had about 150, 160 grams, something like that, of almonds per cake. That's now down to 26 grams of Panda flour, something around that. It's, I just helped. Oh, that's amazing, Emily. Right, okay, I'll message you later. Let's see if we can sort something out. So you use such a small amount. So if you're converting a recipe that you've already used, you've made in the past, and when you read the recipe, it says, let's say 100 grams of normal white flour, go with about 25-30 grams of Panda. You know what it should look like, whether it's a cake batter, whether it's a bread dough, you know what it should look like. Obviously, it's easier to add stuff back in than try and take some back out. Yorkshire puddings with straight Panda doesn't work. We haven't made it work yet. That's one thing that we're trying to experiment with. We can get a rise, but we can't keep it sort of like, nice and risen. They sort of tend to sort of shrink as soon as the heat comes out of them. So Yorkshire puddings is a definite one on the list. We're going to be trying to do a lot more testing with it, even if it just needs another ingredient adding to it. So, replacing what would be a normal white flour, and it needs Panda and something else. Whether that's a bit of xanthan gum, whether it's a bit of arrowroot, whatever it is. It's something that can sort of, tip it over the edge. It doesn't taste the coconut flour. Coconut is sort of like second ingredient in there. But it's not coconutty at all. The only time that we think we can smell the coconut, can't taste it, is when we're baking the plain wraps that have no no sort of seasoning at all. When we bake in the chili and the garlic and the roti, you can't smell it at all. So you can't taste it in any of the pastries. You can't taste it in any of the cakes. It's just not there. It's just not strong enough. And in fact, I don't even think you can smell it in the. I can't smell it in there. But then I'm part panda, so all I smell is bamboo. Yeah. I might go through my. So yeah, have a think. Anyone that's got the panda flour, think about what you would normally make, or would like to have made, and have a little go at it. Let us know. And like Ross, who's got many recipes in our books, you might be able to get your name in a book, but it's not planned yet. So don't start asking for a book.
No book is in production.
No book is in
Every
production.
time I mention a cookbook,
I know.
I'll say
No
that.
book is in production yet. Okay? Yes. Right. That'll do. Haven't quite got that. Obviously, the meat was fully cooked. That was in for 15 minutes. It was just to give it some colour on top. Let me get a spoon, but I know the drawer's empty.
Can use Louis' soup spoon.
Soup spoon. So obviously the panda pasta sheet was soft. It's gone a little bit like panda pasta does when you sort of stick it in the oven and there's a bit poking out. It goes crispy. What I'm hoping for. And I've made this quite dry. I prefer my lasagnas sort of fairly firm and dry. I'm not one that sort of goes with an absolute mountain of sauce. I'm going to use the biggest spoon. Let me get a bowl. And I'll put it on this end. There we go. There you go. You get to see both sides. There you go. So, that way around. Again, the light's awful. Sun's shining straight on it. However, panda, same with the firmness of lasagna. Yeah, no, it's. I say when it's cooked, it's like normal pasta, but just a little bit softer. Yeah, it's just a little bit softer. You won't get it to the al dente stage. It's just a little bit over that. But it feels and looks like real pasta. And the best thing is, it's already 20 grams of protein. It is proper protein pasta. So it eliminates, half of the problem when people are struggling to sort of eat enough pasta. Eat enough protein. You could just serve a bowl of pasta with, drizzle with oil, chicken breast. You've knocked 45, 50 grams of protein with a simple small pasta dish. It's a couple of 100 grams of pasta, small piece of chicken, you're done. It's really easy. So get yourself a tray, get yourself a silicone tray or something you can bake it in. Make sure your oven's on properly and it's level. You don't want any of this nonsense where it's thick on one end and thin on the other and undercooked. And then, start making your old favourites.
Emily's asking how hard was it to sheet the lasagna noodles?
So you missed the beginning, Emily. Where's the brown cheese gone? Oh, put them in the sink. So the panda pasta is a liquid to start with, or a paste, thin paste. Pour it into the sheet, bake it for, if your oven's on properly, on the high enough heat, 5 minutes. Bake it until it's firm, okay? Till it's firm. Doesn't want to be drying up around the edges, just so it's firm. Wow, what's happened to the light? Awful. The sun is so far down here.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Is that not gonna? That's not gonna help.
But what I can do,
You know what I look like?
if everyone wants
It's
to
probably a blessing
sacrifice the food, I can tilt the camera up a bit.
No, that's okay. Leave it. It's fine. Honestly, it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's not.
Bake the. There you go. Stop.
I know. I'm just stopping. Calm down.
Bake the pasta 5 minutes, 6 minutes until it's firm. If it starts to go sort of like, dry around the edges, done. Get it out. Let it cool, and then you can slice it up into however you want. So it came out as a full sheet, and I just sliced it into strips for tagliatelle, which obviously Louis is taking for his dinner, and I cut the other one into squares and just made lasagna. You can cut it into whatever shape you want. I even used a little cookie cutter, and I've made some stars. That's pasta stars. You could just throw them into a sauce. The pandas have arrived. Is that total? Right. So we always work on those, the sort of like the net carbs. So fibers deducted. It is, and the carbs essentially come from the coconut flour. Okay. The other two are just fibers. They're zero carb. So wow, that light's gone again. Yeah. So carbs are net carbs, 3 grams per portion. Are we done?
Mhm.
I'm just making sure we've gone through all the questions.
I've just put the link into
Right.
a blog we have on carbs versus net carbs.
Okay.
Because it's an American term.
Yeah.
Don't go taking away fibre on UK labels.
Thank you very much. A pizza cutter would work. Yeah, a pizza cutter would work. Anything to sort of just slice through it. It's not difficult to sort of like to cut up into pieces. Right, I'm gonna go and finish my dinner. Walk the dogs. Oh, it's 6 o'clock dinner. Blimey. And we'll see you all next week sometime. Oh, join us next Friday. Big announcement. I'll leave you there. Bye.